Today I'm going to talk about the list data structure in Python. So the most common way of using the list is to add the element, remove element, update the value in the list, and also list comprehension. These four ways are most powerful and useful way when you programming in different projects using Python. The first one is how you can add a new element in the list data type, which is an ordered, and you can have multiple data type in it. The first thing you can add is always add the list element in specific location. So for instance, I want to add the element at the third location, which is 0, 1, 2, so it's third location with a string value called car. I give it a run. It will add at that specific location. That's the function you how to use the insert. Another way is always add at the tail of the list. So for instance, I want to add the string apple as the tail of the list, and I print it out. Then it always add as a tail. Then I want to talk about how you can. There's two ways to remove elements from the list. The first one is called pop. What pop does is similar to append, so it always removes the last element at the tail. So if I use pop, you don't need to give what data you want to delete or anything. You just run it, and you want to print it out too. So you always pop the last element. Then there's always another one that you can remove the specific data value that's inside the list. So for instance, I want to remove the number 3, not at the 3 location, but the number 3. And I check out the new list. See, you move the value. So the difference is pop and append. They always think you will remove or add at the tail of the list. The other two is you have the specific index or value you want to add in or insert. That's the 4 ways that you can do a list manipulation. The second is how you can update the value. So for instance, I want to change right now the second element in the list is car, and I want to change it to maybe a string. So I will do a number, and I will just do list the second index, which is 1, and I give a run. I check the new list. See, then you change from the car to the 8. The second most important stuff I want to talk about list is list comprehension. What the list comprehension does is you can do some certain calculation or manipulation with list in a very clean and neat way. So for instance, I want to create a new list called S, and S only give me value from the original list that variable is bigger, maybe bigger than 3. So I want to get if I create a new list for the S should be only give me the 8 and 3, right? So how you define the list comprehension is you first define it as the return type of the S, which is a list, and then I will say what's the thing you want to return. So the thing you want to return element inside the list that is bigger than 4, right? So I want to say S, which is the variable name that I just create. So you can use any variable, you can use I, doesn't matter. So the I is a return type you will give back to the list for S. So for I in the original list, so the list name, if, and then the condition where the S list created it met. So for any any element in the list should be bigger than 3, right? So for if I is bigger than 3, and that's how you do a list comprehension. And then if I print the new list out, I will get is all the elements that is bigger than 3. And that's basically I create a new list and assign to a new variable called s, and I use the neat way to having a condition that meet in here, and the return the type is the execution that certainly meets the specific definition from the if. The final one is how you can iterate through. So the list comprehension is the way, if you're working with data and sometimes you need to create a new list or define filter a list and make a new copy. The final one is I want to print out to see what type of list element are inside. To do that, for instance, I want to print out all the stuff from the as above, so I can just do for I is or you can do anything for I or element. So that's the name variable for element in the list. The list name is called s. I want to print out the element. In that case, I'm printing out the data value inside the s, not the index number. So what if I want to get the index number? Sometimes when you're working with data, often you want to know the index because index is meaning a lot. Like when you doing 8 subtract multiply. So I want to get the element, not index number, not the elements in s. I will do it for index in range. Range is from 0 to 10, 1 to 100 is a number, and how long is the range is the length of the s. And I want to get the index of the x, and I do a print. Then in this case, I will just get here only 0 and 1 because 0 and 1 are the index number. So these are the most common use one that you will work on a lot in different projects when you're using list in Python. The next lecture I'm going to talk about is how to use dictionary and set. That will be very useful as well. Thank you for